Ramsaran learned that hers was the body found in the town of Pharsalia Tuesday. What the Chenango County Sheriff's Office cannot say at this time is how she died. Our Matt Porter has been following the search for Ramsaran and joins us from her family's home in New Berlin.
Candace, I'm here at the home where Jennifer Ramsaran was last seen alive, and for the last 79 days there have been prayers that she would return here alive. I'm here with her husband, Ganesh Remy Ramsaran, the husband of Jennifer Ramsaran. Remy, we've spoken. I know that the last 11 weeks have been brutal for you and your family. I know you had hoped to find your wife alive. Can you tell me what the emotions were like when you found out that the body was Jennifer's?
2 o'clock today, we got the phone call from Lieutenant Cobb, and the word surreal, I mean, it was crushing. It was crushing. I don't think I've ever cried like that. And just not wanting to believe that that was my wife, or just, it was unbelievable. It was brutal.
How important is it going to be for you to find out what happened to Jennifer?
Because I don't just want justice. I want vengeance. Someone knows something. From the beginning, the first few days and weeks that, you think about the worst. And after going through the investigations and even last week, there was apparently a sighting that Lieutenant Cobb and everyone was investigating and stuff. But knowing that the worst did happen, I want vengeance. We need to know what happened.
That's fine. Thank you. Thank you. That was Remy Ramsaran, the husband of Jennifer Ramsaran. Obviously, they had hoped to find Jennifer alive. Unfortunately, now he and his 3 kids will have to move on without their mother. Live in New Berlin, I'm Matt Porter, WBNGTV Action News.
All right. Thank you, Matt. Action News has learned a few details from a medical examiner close to the case. For example, Ramsaran's body was not clothed, and there appeared to be no visible signs of trauma. The Chenango County Sheriff's Office has declined. Into the murder of Jennifer Ramsaran leads to her husband. The Chenango County Sheriff arrested 38-year-old Ganesh Ramsaran of New Berlin, and this comes about 2.5 months after Jennifer's body was found. Matt Porter joins us live outside of the Chenango County Sheriff's Office, where he spoke to investigators about what led to the arrest.
Candace, I'm at the Chenango County Sheriff's Office where around 9 this morning, Ganesh Remy Ramsaran was brought in for additional questioning on the murder of his wife, Jennifer Ramsaran. And later on, he was arrested, arraigned, and charged with murder in the 2nd degree for the murder of his wife, Jennifer Ramsaran. Ganesh Remy Ramsaran pleaded not guilty and is being held on $150,000 bail or $300,000 bonds. Now, Remy Ramsaran, as you know, was one of the main persons of investigation when it came to the investigation of the disappearance and death of his wife, 36-year-old Jennifer Ramsaran. Jennifer Ramsaran was last seen on December 11th when she was reportedly going to shop in Syracuse. Jennifer Ramsaran's body was recovered on February 26th in the town of Pharsalia, buried under snow on the side of the road. Now, the family has declined to speak to the media. Neighbors, I say, they weren't surprised with the outcome. The sheriff said the results of an autopsy report released earlier this week tipped the balance of the investigation and led to the arrest.
Well, he's obviously a major point of interest in our investigation, person of interest, and upon receiving the autopsy result, we just moved in that direction.
That's the hardship of the whole thing, it's really sad. My wife just said the same thing when I was in the house for a second. She said, I really feel bad for the kids. They lost their mom, and now they're going to lose their dad. It's a shame.
Now, Ramsaran is being held here at the Chenango County Correctional Facility, where police will present their evidence for a grand jury. Ramsaran was asked if he'd like to retain a lawyer. He has. Ramsaran has also been very outspoken about this issue in the media. I had several long interviews with Ramsaran where he said he wanted justice for the person who killed his wife. Well, police say they found that person, and it's him. Live in Norwich, I'm Matt Porter, WBNGTV Action News.
In the murder trial of Ganesh Remy Ramsaran in Chenango County, the New Berlin man is accused of killing his wife. With a complete jury now, the attorneys delivered their opening statements just a few hours ago, and our JULIANNE PEIXOTO joins us.
Candace, both prosecution and defense delivered opening statements this afternoon. Chenango County District Attorney Joe McBride spoke for 30 minutes about the evidence the jury will see, while defense attorney Gilberto Garcia spoke for 10 minutes about how the evidence does not prove his client, Mr. Ramsaran, killed his wife. McBride said that
At this time, Mr.
Ramsaran's affair with Eileen Sayles, describing their relationship as obsessive. He read an email Ramsaran sent to Sayles in early December 2012, right after the two broke up.
You know that I would have done anything, everything, and anything for you and for us to be together. But you used me. And ladies and gentlemen, 1 week after he sent this, actually just a little bit over a week after he sent that message, he got back together with his girlfriend. And then within 24 hours of getting back together with his girlfriend, his wife was murdered.
But the evidence will show you that that body wasn't found because the police did a very shoddy job here. And why? Because they concentrated on Mr. Ramsaran from day one as the suspect. They didn't tell him, but he was their suspect. So nothing else and no one else mattered in this case.
One witness was called after the statements, police officer Richard Cagilio, who responded to Ramsaran's missing persons call back in 2012. Witness testimonials will continue at 10 a.m. tomorrow. I'll have an update for you tomorrow night here.
Murder trial of Ganesh Remy Ramsaran in Chenango County Court. The New Berlin man's accused of killing his wife Jennifer Ramsaran in December of 2012. Today the jury heard about Jennifer's autopsy. Our JULIANNE PEIXOTO is here to tell us what the medical examiner found. JULIANNE?
Candace, Jennifer Ramsaran's body was too decomposed and eaten away by animals to determine a cause of death, according to forensic pathologist Robert Stoppacher, but he did rule that the manner of her death was homicide. Stoppacher described injuries he believes Jennifer sustained before she died, such as bruising on her arms and legs, cuts on her finger and foot, and internal bleeding around her scalp. He said a hemorrhage shows she had been struck in the back of her skull. Stoppacher testified there was no evidence that she died from hypothermia or any other natural cause. He also described narrow streaks of bleeding going left to right across Jennifer's back. Jennifer was found naked and dumped on the side of the road, which Stoppacher believes is further evidence to support his homicide theory. Several members of Jennifer's family, including her mother, left the courtroom for Stoppacher's testimony and believe Remy and his attorney were emotional throughout the cross-examination. Stoppacher said the autopsy results were consistent with prosecution's theory that Jennifer died on or around December 11, 2012. Testimony will resume tomorrow at 9 in the morning when prosecution will video chat with Robert Houston in England. According to testimony by Detective Kevin Powell, Houston messaged Jennifer's phone the morning she went missing.
Today in the murder trial of a New Berlin man accused of killing his wife in December of 2012. Prior testimony has quoted Ganesh Remy Ramsaran as saying his marriage couldn't have been better at the time of his wife's disappearance, but new information suggests that may not have been the case. Our JULIANNE PEIXOTO was in Chenango County Court. JULIANNE?
Candace, Jennifer Ramsaran was actively pursuing a divorce less than a week before she went missing, according to testimony this afternoon in Chenango County Court. Lisa Harvey is a receptionist at a law office that specializes in divorce. She says Jennifer called on December 6, 2012 to make a matrimonial appointment with a lawyer. The appointment was scheduled for December 21st, but Jennifer went missing on the 11th. Jennifer's online gaming friend Robert Houston also testified today via video chat from England. Houston described his relationship with Jennifer as intimate and said the two were in contact 5 to 6 hours every day for the few months he knew her. He said on the morning Jennifer went missing, she told him she was going to go into Norwich to Western Union to pick up the money he had wired to her for Christmas. Houston told the jury Jennifer signed off mid-conversation, something she had never done before. He never heard from her again. Remy says Jennifer told him she was going shopping in Syracuse the morning she disappeared. Defense attorney Gilberto Garcia pointed out that it would have made sense for Jennifer to lie to her husband about where she was going the morning she went missing. Houston and detectives have confirmed that Jennifer was also in contact with other men online. Candace questioned Remy all day long, and he even got frustrated with his client, reminding him on several occasions to stick to the questions. Remy continuously rambled on after answering a question and was reminded by the judge to be responsive and relevant with his answers. Remy began by answering questions about his childhood and explained that friends gave him the nickname Psycho while in high school. He says it was because of his stature and ability to play sports with much bigger kids. Remy is less than 5.5 feet tall. Remy explained how he and Jennifer got married after 5 years of dating and after she was pregnant with their first child. Remy testified that he found Jennifer's phone using the Find My iPhone application. When he discovered the phone, he said he could hear it beeping, but as soon as police arrived on scene, it wasn't making any sound. There will be no court tomorrow, and direct examination will continue Monday at 9 a.m. Prosecution told Action News cross-examination will take quite a while, so it may be a couple days until closing arguments are delivered.
Prosecution and the defense rested their cases today in the murder trial of Ganesh Remy Ramsaran, the New Berlin man accused of killing his wife Jennifer in December 2012. Our Julianne PEIXOTO is back from Chenango County Court and joins us in the studio. Julianne.
Julianne, cross-examination of Ramsaran ended today, and it was extremely intense. He was reminded countless times to only answer the questions, not to ramble on, and was even yelled at by Judge Revore to stop giving smart aleck responses. There was lots of shouting from all sides, dozens of objections, and, as has been the case, plenty of contradictions. Ramsaran has described the morning his wife went missing in extreme detail several times to police and in testimony, but today he revealed a detail he had not mentioned before. After intense questioning from District Attorney Joe McBride, Ramsaran admitted that his wife was playing her online game the morning she disappeared. This new revelation matches with previous testimony from Jennifer's gaming friend Robert Houston. Houston lives in England and testified via video chat that Jennifer signed off out of nowhere, something she had never done before, the morning she disappeared. Ramsaran had an online relationship with a psychic named Krista, who was mentioned by prosecution for the first time today. Ramsaran admitted that just weeks after his wife's body was discovered, he was watching a murder trial unfold on television and joked with Krista by saying, "The husband always does it." Since both sides rested today, closing arguments begin tomorrow at 9 a.m. Defense attorney Gilberto Garcia told Action News he anticipates taking around 3 hours to deliver his remarks. We'll have all the details for you tomorrow night right here on Action News.
Like Jennifer's family to know how sorry I am for their loss. Jennifer was an amazing woman and mother. I'm very sorry for what they've been through.
Eileen Sayles, the former mistress of Ganesh Remy Ramsaran, spoke exclusively to Action News after she testified for more than 3 hours in Chenango County Court today. Ramsaran of New Berlin is standing trial in the December 2012 death of his wife, Jennifer. Sayles was not only Remy's former girlfriend, she was also Jennifer's best friend. Sayles told the jury Monday that she and Remy had sex and that he told her he loved her the day before Jennifer went missing. She said that Remy invited her to move in with him before Jennifer's body was even discovered, and Remy changed her mailing address to his home address without her permission. Sayles broke down in tears more than once during her testimony today and said her close friendship with Jennifer never changed throughout her affair with Remy. Sayles released a statement a little bit later to Action News. In it, she says all she wants is for the truth to be known. For Sayles' full statement, you can visit our website, WBNG.com.
Remy Ramsaran will get a new defense attorney. Our Matt Porter was at the Chenango County Courthouse and explains what's behind the change.
Well, that's right, Candace. 38-year-old Ganesh Remy Ramsaran is accused of killing his 36-year-old wife, Jennifer Ramsaran, at her home just near Chenango Lake in the town of New Berlin. Now, her body was found on the side of the road in the town of Pharsalia almost 3 months later. Now, Ramsaran was finally arrested and charged on second-degree murder in May. Now, almost 9 months later, Ramsaran was in court to accept a request to dismiss his two attorneys, James Chamberlain and F. Stanton Ackerman. His attorneys made the request to be relieved. An affidavit submitted to the court shows Ramsaran owes at least $72,000 in legal fees. Ramsaran also openly complained about one of his attorneys, that was Ackerman. He said he had not seen him since October. Ramsaran was visibly upset with his fist clenched at some times. And people in the court who just wanted to see justice for his wife, Jennifer, had hoped they would learn more about an upcoming trial.
And I just want Jen's parents and children to be able to have some sort of avenue to move forward. I mean, they're just stuck right here now waiting.
Now, Ramsaran also let loose at the Chenango County District Attorney's Office, which is handling the prosecution. He said there has not been enough released to him regarding evidence obtained. He called the DA's reports to the media that the case is ready to go a travesty. Now, the prosecution and Ramsaran's remarks about the DA were unfounded. That's what they said. Ramsaran told Judge Frank Revore Jr. he should have his new lawyer's information filed with the court.
The Chenango County jury returned a guilty verdict of second-degree murder for Ganesh Remy Ramsaran in the December 2012 death of his wife, Jennifer. Our Julianne PEIXOTO has been covering the trial gavel to gavel, and she joins us now live in the studio. Jules.
Dave, the jury only needed a few hours before coming to the conclusion Remy Ramsaran killed his wife nearly 2 years ago. The New Berlin man now faces between 15 years to life in prison. While members of Jennifer's family declined to speak on camera, her mother told Action News there are no words to express their feelings. Jennifer's sister also said she would have been concerned for members of their family had Ramsaran walked free today. She said, quote, "There's something wrong with him."
Guilty or not guilty?
Defendant guilty.
After a trial that lasted nearly 4 weeks, the jury came to its decision in less than 4 hours.
We've all worked hard for the last couple of years to make sure that justice happened today.
Closing arguments and a verdict all in the same day. It's unusual, but the Chenango County prosecutor says they had enough evidence to make the decision an easy one for the jury.
The first week, many people in the community were calling us up and telling us that this gentleman had a girlfriend and this is no accident and she didn't disappear.
I'm extremely happy because I've been waiting for this, and Jennifer, she needs it. And the family needs it.
But even with what prosecutors called a mountain of evidence, all of it was circumstantial, which can make a guilty verdict that much more difficult to achieve.
The biggest challenge in this case is no cause of death. We have a long lapse between the time that he committed the homicide and the time we found the body. And to be honest, the defendant doesn't have a criminal record. There's not a long history there.
Members of the county's law enforcement said they firmly believe that today, justice for Jennifer was served.
In the words of the defendant, the truth will come out. It always does. And I think today the truth came out.
Defense attorney Gilberto Garcia declined to appear on camera. However, he did tell Action News that his biggest concern is that the jury made its decision too quickly without a thorough review of the evidence. Ramsaran's sentencing will take place sometime next month.
Chenango County was given a maximum life sentence for second-degree murder. Ganesh Remy Ramsaran will serve 25 years to life.
Sentence me to whatever you want. More importantly, the only thing that I'm guilty of is having an affair. You know all my affairs. You had yours with Carol.
Today, Ramsaran verbally lashed out and tried to prove his innocence. Ramsaran went on trial for intentionally killing his wife in December of 2012. He was found guilty during his trial last September. Ramsaran will serve his time at state prison in Elmira. While in court this morning, he broke out in a rant about the details of the case.
Almost everyone, including the apartment building manager, stated that the van was not there until at least a Thursday, 2 days afterwards. Other people said the van was there until Friday. How in the world could I have done anything or parked the van there on a Thursday if it wasn't even seen?
I've never seen such a terrible disrespect for any judge or anyone on the bench or the entire system. And once again, these are the true colors of Mr. Ramsaran coming out. And unfortunately, the entire community got to see them today.
Also this morning, Ganesh Remy Ramsaran pleaded not guilty to a new charge. In November, he was indicted for bribery, accused of offering a correctional officer $100,000 to help him escape from jail.